Okay, so lesson 47 talks about finding the volume of certain objects. And finding the volume of things is one step further than finding the area. We're going to take a look, first of all, with this cube. We're going to say that this cube is 5 inches this way, and 4 inches wide, and 4 inches high. And so the way you find the volume is you multiply the base, you multiply the length times the height times the width. So in this cube, the length equals 5, and the width equals 4, and the height also equals 4. So we just multiply 5 times 4 times 4. And in this cube, we're going to say that it's 5 inches because we have to make sure that we use the unit. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 4 is 80. And so the volume of this cube would be 80 inches cubed. You could write it like that. Or you could also say that it was 80 cubic inches. So either way that you want to write that answer, that's fine. But make sure you do include the unit, the inches or feet or millimeters or whatever it is that they're measuring by. So all that means is that if we had a little cubic inch block that was 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, that means that this larger one, you could fit 80 of them inside of there. So that's what the volume means. So if it's a simple shape, like a block, then we can use the length times the height times the width. But sometimes we'll come across problems that have a different shape, like this one. We're going to say that this is the bottom of a shape. So it's not a simple, like the bottom of this cube would be just a simple kind of squarish looking thing. This is the bottom, and it has this extra part right here. So in order to find the volume of a shape that's not a simple shape, then you would first find the area of the bottom of it and then multiply it by the height. So we're going to do this problem. We're going to say that this part right here, this whole side is 10, and this side is 8, and we're going to say that this side is 9. And we're going to need to first find the area of this, and then we're going to say that the height of this was, let's say it was 3 of these shapes stacked on top of each other, so that the height would equal 3, and we're going to call it inches. So the way we would do that then, we couldn't just simply use length times height times width because we have too many variables here. So instead we're going to do this, we're going to use this formula for the volume, and we're going to say that the volume equals the area of the base times the height. The height is easy, we know that it's 3 inches. But first we have to find the area of this base. So you've done this before. We're going to split this into 2 parts. And we're going to say, I forgot to mention that this part right here is 6 inches right here. So this first rectangle, we'll find the area of that. So we need to multiply 9 times 8 to find the area of this rectangle. And 9 times 8 is 72 square inches. But that's not the only part of the base. We also need to find this little section right here. This little square, the length of this would be 2. And we find 2 by saying 10 minus 8 equals 2. So that's 2. Then we need to know the length of this right here. The length of that would be 9, take away 6. So that would be 3. So the area of this little section right here would be 2 times 3. Which would be 6. So we're going to add 6 square inches, which gives us 78 square inches for the area. But we wanted to know the volume of this. If there were 3 of these shapes, 1 inch tall, stacked up on top of each other, we would want to know the volume of the whole thing. So we would multiply the volume, the area of the base, which is 78, times the height, which is 3. 78 times 3 is 234. So we will add, that equals 234 cubic inches would be the volume of a shape that has this as the area of the base.